Superman first debuted in Action Comics number 1 and introduced to us the common elements of a superhero: a colorful, striking costume, superpowers, and even though it has kind of faded over the years, a secret identity. But why does Superman need to have a secret identity? He doesn't even need a job, he doesn't need to eat or sleep, because he gets his energy from Earth's yellow sun. Why would a man with almost unlimited power choose to be one of us? Human, vulnerable, and weak compared to the Man of Steel. And that is the question I am going to answer for you guys today. My name is Joshua, and today we're going to truly find out why Superman needs a secret identity. Okay, so let's first dive into the source material, comics. One of the main times this question is addressed is in Action Comics 305. And in this issue, almost the whole issue, aside from a Supergirl side story, was dedicated to answering this question. Action Comics 305 displayed 4 imaginary scenarios, where in each of them, Superman's identity is revealed as being Clark Kent. And we are going to go through each of those 4 scenarios to find out if we could find a clear answer of why Supes chooses to be Clark Kent. The first imaginary story that we get is what would have happened if Superboy, young Clark Kent, revealed his secret identity to the public. This scenario ended up with Clark's parents, Jonathan and Martha, getting murdered by a man whose gang was nabbed by Clark. So this tells us one reason why Clark shouldn't have given his secret identity while he was Superboy. It was to protect his parents. The second imaginary scenario takes place after the tragic story that happened earlier, and Superboy is now Superman and arrives in Metropolis for the first time. He rents an apartment and goes on patrol. When he returns from patrol, he sees crowds of people surrounding his apartment. And because of this, whatever action Superman does, he doesn't have any privacy. Look at this panel. Superman is eating while tons of people are watching him. And since everyone knows he is Superman, they always ask him for assistance, while he could be using his time for more useful things like going on patrol. And because of this, Lex Luthor has time to build a kryptonite gun. The minute he goes out of his apartment, Lex Luthor shoots Superman with the kryptonite gun. Then the mayor tells him to leave Metropolis, and in the end of this scenario, we see him playing chess with clones of himself in the Fortress of Solitude. So, yeah. Anyway, in this scenario, we see that Superman chooses to have a secret identity so he could have privacy. But we still kind of have another question. Why does Superman still have to eat or rent the apartment that he rented? Moving on to the third scenario. In this scenario, it features Jimmy Olsen, Superman's co-worker, and his pal. Jimmy Olsen finds out that Superman works at the Daily Planet, so syndicate kingpins try to investigate to find out who Superman is. And when it wasn't Perry White, it was obvious. Clark Kent was Superman. When the Syndicate Kingpins found out that Clark was Superman, they used gold kryptonite on him, which made him lose his powers permanently. Anyway, the third scenario doesn't really show us much, so let's move on to the fourth. The fourth and last scenario was one in where he revealed his secret identity because the Daily Planet was under attack, and because his boss, Perry White, found out Superman's secret identity, he told Clark that he couldn't stay in the Daily Planet anymore and had to get a new secret identity. So he tried to become a man named Mark Trent, but he didn't have any identification. So in the end, he was imprisoned. This imaginary story doesn't really give us much answers, but it still gives us a big question. Why does Superman need a job? Why does Superman need to do things we do? He's from another planet, Krypton. He doesn't need to do anything we do. He gets his energy from the sun. So we didn't get any answers from the comics. We just got a lot more questions. Well, my friends, the answer lies in this. What you are looking at right now is Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is a motivational theory in psychology comprising of 5 or sometimes more human needs depicted as sections or levels in a pyramid. Maslow stated that once a need is satisfied, we go up the pyramid to the next need. Anyway, so let's look at Superman and see if, without his Clark Kent persona, would fulfill and meet these needs displayed on this pyramid. Let's start from the bottom. Physiological needs. These are your basic needs, like your food and your water for us humans. But Superman doesn't need that. He gets his energy from the yellow sun, so it doesn't matter. This is not a problem for him. So let's move up the pyramid with safety needs. And I'm also pretty sure that Superman doesn't need safety. He's literally almost all powerful. Then we go to the needs above safety needs. Love and belonging. And here is where we find our answer. Mark Waid describes perfectly how lonely Clark is in the book Superheroes and Philosophy, which will be in the link down in the description if you want to buy it for yourself. It's a pretty good book. Anyway, he says, quote, "Every time he hears a splash of an Antarctic penguin while trying to relax on the Hawaiian beach, every time he surrenders himself to a moment of unbridled joy and looks down to see that he's quite literally walking on air, he gets the message loud and clear. He's not from around here. He doesn't belong here. He was raised as one of us, but he's really not one of us. Superman is the sole survivor of his race. He's an alien being, and he's probably more alone in this world than anyone else has ever been." And that's our answer. Superman chooses to be Clark Kent and do what humans do to fulfill his need of belonging, because he is probably one of the most lonely people in the DC universe. This is why he eats, rents apartments, and sleeps and gets jobs, because he needs it to belong to our society. And through being Clark Kent, his soups not only fulfilled his need for belonging, but it has also given him human companions, and now a family, which to me makes him more human than he is alien. Anyway, what do you guys think? Does Superman need a secret identity? Was I right, or do you have a statement that completely obliterates everything I have said in this video? Leave all those thoughts in the comments. By the way, this is the first of a few videos that we are going to make celebrating Action Comics 1000. So, if you like the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see the upcoming videos, please subscribe. Anyway, my name is Joshua, and I will see you all in the next comic book video.